Hi, my name is Umberto Mucci. I'm the editor of We the Italians. This is the first issue of the We the ItaliaNews. Today is Wednesday, March 11, 2020. I'm in Rome, Italy. I'm an Italian preoccupied in lockdown. Now, all of my Italians and Italian American friends in the United States are probably wondering what's happening in Italy, and this is why I'm starting this video broadcast. Please forgive me, I'm not an official journalist who is used to work with the camera, so this is just a trial, a beginning. I'm gonna tell you something about what's happening in Italy in lockdown right now. It was with these words that 1 year and 1 day ago, I began the first video of this podcast, worried, even a little scared, in lockdown, first in the Western world. That's how I wanted to start the video today. Today, of course, is Friday, March 12, 2021. The data say that we have administered the first dose of the vaccine to 6,220,000 Italians, 10.26% of the population. 1,862,000 of them received the second dose too. The ranking of the regions by percentage of vaccinations made compared to the doses delivered say that in the first three places from the top are Puglia, Valle d'Aosta and Campania. In the last three places from the bottom are the three regions that have been there for almost a month: Sardinia, Liguria and Calabria. Yesterday, Europe began to worry about a series of side effects reportedly occurring to some people who received the AstraZeneca vaccine. Denmark, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Austria, Luxembourg and Norway have suspended the distribution of this vaccine, while in Italy only one batch has been suspended. The European agency, which just yesterday authorized the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, has assured that the AstraZeneca one is not dangerous, but certainly these problems will delay the vaccination plans of northern European countries that have suspended this vaccine. As I previously said, in the north of Europe there are many who do not believe completely in science and vaccines, while in the south of Europe this percentage is much lower. There is some fear in Italy among some of those who have had the first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, but the Italian plan goes ahead, and it did yesterday, where unofficially announced criteria valid for the whole country, thus eliminating the discretion entrusted so far to the regions. Vaccinations will continue based on the criterion of age groups from people over 80 years old down, but compared to the previous plan have been identified 5 new categories in which the population is divided based on age and the presence of pathological conditions. Priority will be given to category 1 and then downward. In category 1, there's high frailty, extremely vulnerable people, severe disability. Category 2, people between the ages of 70 and 79. Category 3, people aged 60-69. Category 4, people under age 60 with medical conditions or immunologically compromised situations that may increase the risk of becoming ill, but who are not in the severity of extremely vulnerable. Category 5, rest of the population under age 60. The contagion has begun to run again in Italy, and again the map sees the country divided in two, with the northern regions having very high numbers in intensive care occupancy, with the sole exception of Veneto, and those in the south lower numbers. But the contagion curve is growing everywhere. Later today, as every Friday, we will know the new decisions of the Ministry of Health on the color changes of the regions, which are based on the monitoring of the virus and will be valid from next Monday, March 15. There is no certainty at this time, but it is feared that there will be about 30 million Italians subject to the most severe restrictions from Monday, because they live in the 12 regions that could be in the red zone. There is a strong likelihood that Easter will be in lockdown like last Christmas in Italy, with a traffic stop from Easter Thursday, which this year is April 1st, until the following Tuesday. We hope that this is the last great sacrifice required of the Italians after a year to go back again in lockdown. It's really sad and worrying, but we must resist having confidence in the acceleration of the vaccination campaign set up by the new government. And talking about the new government, in order to understand what situation the previous one left behind, a significant figure was recently published. To make concrete and operational the laws approved by the previous government, 792 implementation decrees would have been needed. At the moment, only 253 have been adopted, the 32% of the total, while 539 will have to be managed by the new government. The drafting of implementing decrees is one of the most delicate phases of the complex Italian legislative process. After approval by the Council of Ministers and publication in the official gazette, in fact, the content of the laws must be evaluated in all its most practical aspects by the officials of the ministers who are responsible for verifying their concrete application. This leads to considerable delays, which in turn generate the ineffectiveness of some laws already in force. The effects on citizens of the laws approved do not arrive if the whole process has not been completed. And in these months of great economic difficulty, Italians have seen many unfulfilled promises because laws have not been followed by implementing decrees. As in all other countries, a lot of money has been promised to compensate businesses, stores, services closed due to COVID restrictions, but little has actually reached Italian citizens. Yesterday, the President of the Republic, Sergio Mattarella, awarded 28 certificates of honor of Bishop of the Republic to young people who in 2020 have distinguished themselves for their commitment and courageous actions and solidarity, and represent through their testimony the future and hope in a year that will remain in history for the tragic events related to the pandemic. I'd like to tell you about all of them, these magnificent 28 young Italians, but it would take too long. You will find all the stories in the next issue of the We the ItaliaNews magazine. Now I will just mention two of them, a girl and a boy. Silvia Artuso, 9 years old, living in Albino in the province of Bergamo in Lombardy, for the strength and hope she managed to convey during the hardest day of the lockdown through the daily videotaped reading of a book she loved, which she sent to her classmates every day. Her commitment, her perseverance have become an example and an encouragement in dramatic moments for the entire civil community. Matteo Zini, age 15, a resident of Casalecchio di Reno in the province of Bologna in Emilia-Romagna, for his volunteer service with great passion and sensitivity at the Bologna Red Cross during the lockdown period. By calling the elderly isolated in their homes on the phone, almost 2,000 calls, he managed to get groceries delivered, to provide necessary medicines, and not infrequently also to facilitate the visit of the specialist doctor. Now, it's all for today. Today was Friday, March 12, 2021. Please stay safe and stay healthy. I'll see you next Monday. My name is Umberto Mucci. This was We the ItaliaNews. Ciao from Rome.